of The Authentic You. And today, what we're going to talk about is emotions in the workplace. So I think it's quite interesting because typically our workplace, we don't like to really talk about emotions. But the reality is we're human beings, not human doings. So there is going to be an emotional content within your workplace. So what are you going to do about it? Do we just cut it out and pretend that it's not happening? Or are we going to start acknowledging it because there's untapped resource in there? So even if you think of the word emotion, motion is in the word. It is meant to move through, not to be blocked and not to pretend that it's not there. So when we show up as an individual, if we're feeling emotional about something, then we need to figure out how to process that. That doesn't necessarily need to be in the workplace, but don't bury it because that's not helping you in the long run. You are not going to show up the best way that you possibly can because you are blocking from your alignment of your true self, believe it or not. So the one thing that I've learned over the years is that when we start blocking our emotions and we pretend that they're not happening, you may hear comments like, yeah, I'm fine, and you do that. Can you imagine? We have been built on a society that showing a limited amount of emotion, only if it's allowed, was a good thing. So all I'm saying is that as a leader, and when you show up, if you're feeling stuff, please make sure that you're processing that and not pretending that it's not there. And, I would take it even further. And this is, I think employers have an obligation to care. I think COVID changed that. I think that there is a duty to care. And that means emotions are going to be in play. That means that people's mental health and well-being is a real thing. It's not just, oh yeah, we need to worry about that. No, it needs to be baked into your culture. It needs to be the way we look at people. In the past, we would be very much like, oh, leave your issues at the door. You don't bring them into work. I don't even think that's possible. All that does is stuff down those emotions and not allow people to show up and be the best that they can be. It doesn't take long to have a caring conversation with someone or to lead with kindness and make sure that they're doing okay. So why are we not doing that? So I would strongly encourage, as you step into your truth of who you are as a leader, ask yourself, am I leading from a place of kindness? Am I treating the people the same way that I would want to be treated? This is real. This is not, a script. This is how we should be showing up in the world. So I just want us to be mindful from a leadership perspective and compassionate leadership and aligning so we can, lead with empathy. All of that is emotion. All of that is people who need to be comfortable in their own skin to be able to be vulnerable enough to have those conversations. So I want you to pause and think of where you are in that spectrum, and then your emotions are actually directly linked to your energetic frequency. So we'll talk about that later in the series, but it's so awesome. So anyways, I'm going to leave it at that. There's a lot of reflection points there. Really excited to be able to share, but I am challenging people to start thinking a little bit differently about how they show up in the world. And you own that. You want to be the best version of yourself and you want to be joyful in your life. So in order to do that, we have to acknowledge these things. We got to do the work of the work. We have to see how we are showing up. So I'll stop there. But what I will say is that we have a masterclass to talk about these things on February 22nd. So feel free to join us. I think that this will be very, very insightful for a lot of people. So I hope that you come and join us. And all the details will be linked below.